All right. Area of a triangle, Unit 11, Day 4. This is the last thing we're going to learn for this unit. So there's two different area formulas that we're going to use. The normal area formula for a triangle, which you should have gone over like a couple years ago, is area equals 1/2 base times height. But that's when you know the height. We don't know the height for a lot of our triangles. But we know that the sine of C, sine, if we remember back to SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So if we look at C right here, the opposite side is H. The hypotenuse is A. So then sine of C equals, maybe it equals H over A because it's opposite over hypotenuse. We can solve that for H, and that just equals A sine of C. So we're going to substitute that in for H, and you get area equals 1/2 B times A sine of C. Just rearrange that so that's 1/2 AB sine of C. So the most important thing that I just did right here, this was just me deriving it. I was just deriving the formula. Okay, so you can kind of see where it comes from. This is the most important thing right here, is that formula right there. Area equals 1/2 A times B times the sine of C. Okay, and this must be a side angle side triangle. A and B are the adjacent sides, C is the angle between them. So this has to be a side angle side triangle to do it this way. So let's look at this one. We need to find the area of this triangle to the nearest tenth. Well, that's side angle side, so I can use this formula. A is 15, B is 12, C is 110. Because A and B are your sides, C is the angle. Plug that right into the formula and put it in your calculator. So you get 84.6 centimeters. Cool? Let's look at this one. Now this one we don't have side, angle, side. We have angle, side, side, angle. But if you know two angles of a triangle, you can find the other angle of the triangle by subtracting it from 180. So if we do 180 minus 24 minus 31, you get 125. Now I have side, angle, side. So A is 17, B is 14, C is 125. So that's going to be 1/2 times 17 times 14 times the sine of 125, and put it into your dang calculator. So you get A equals 97.5 meters squared. Cool? We're going to skip those next two, but we do have more stuff that we need to write on here. So your notes, they're only about like half a page or whatever. Write this in the blank spot or flip it over, write it on the back. So if you are given a side, side, side triangle and asked to find the area, you must use what's called Heron's formula. So this is on a side, side, side triangle. Now, Heron's formula is A equals the square root of S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C, where S is the semi-perimeter. So I'm just going to draw this triangle, and we can just practice finding the semi-perimeter. So if I have this triangle right here, say this is like 4, this is 6, this is 2. Yeah, that's 3. Let's say it's 3. No, I don't want to. Say it's 8. Okay, so 4, 6, and 8. To find the perimeter of this, I'm just going to add them up. So that's 4 plus 6 plus 8, which equals 18. The semi-perimeter, I'm not going to spell that out, but that just means semi is half or part. So semi-perimeter is half of the normal perimeter, so that's 9. So that's what this S is. Okay, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And then A, B, and C are just always your side lengths. So the area is the square root of s times s minus a times s minus b times s minus c, where s is a plus b plus c divided by 2. Let's look at this triangle. So we have 6, 7, and 8 as our side lengths. So I'm just going to label those. That's little a, that's little b, that's little c. Let's find s first. So let's find the semi-perimeter first. We're going to add up the sides. So 8 plus 6 plus 7, you get 21. Divide that by 2. That is 10.5. And I want you to write that as a decimal because when we plug it into the formula, it's a little bit easier to work with a decimal. So s is 10.5. Now I'm just going to plug that in. So that's going to be the square root of 10.5 times 10.5 minus 8 times 10.5 minus 6 times 10.5 minus 7. Now you can go through and do the math on that if you want, but we have these magical things called calculators. Put this into your calculator exactly like that looks with the parentheses and everything, and you will get 20.3, and that would just be units squared. Cool? Let's do one more example of this. So say we have this triangle right here. That can be our A, that could be our B, that could be our C. It really doesn't matter. Now we're going to find our S. So that's 13.5 plus 12 plus 9 divided by 2. I just put that whole thing into my calculator and I got 17.25. So add the top up, divide it by 2, you should get 17.25. Now, if you're going to put this whole thing into your calculator to find the S, make sure you put this top part in parentheses. Okay, or else it's just going to divide the 9 by 2 and you're not going to get 17.25. But now we have our S, so let's just plug it into the formula. So A equals the square root 17.25 times 17.25 minus 13.5 times 17.25 minus 12 times 17.25 minus 9. You get 52.9. Voila, you're done. Cool. Remember to take the quiz. I will see you guys tomorrow. Also remember, this is the very last video for this unit, which means we're reviewing and then we are testing. So it's just something to be aware of. Cool. See you guys tomorrow.